Hi guys, and welcome to Spring Has Sprung live event. That is what I decided to call it because that is what it is. We're finally having some beautiful spring days, and I figured I can't really think of a better way to kick this off with than to do a live event with my online friends, because that's how I view you guys. I get tons and tons of questions all over social media, so whenever I'm able to do a live event, I absolutely adore it, because that way it's really like you and I having a conversation. And I've got some great questions that I have pre-selected from my social media, but I also have live questions streaming in as we speak. Joe is feeding them over to me through right in front of me so that I can see whatever you guys are asking. Anyway, today I decided I was going to cook a couple things, just some things that were easy, some things that were simple, and a couple dishes that to me really symbolize spring. So, I'm really dressed for the occasion. I'm very bright, and I've chosen to do a quinoa salad, which is really light. We're going to grill some zucchini and yellow squash, do a lot, put a lot of herbs in there, make it nice and zesty, and then we're going to do a really simple rosemary, garlic, and Dijon grilled chicken breast to go alongside. So this can be a meal you make for a weeknight dinner, but what's really great about this is that you can make a bunch of it and then keep it in the fridge for leftovers, and you have some great lunches throughout the week. So I'm gonna start with the first question first, and it comes from Jodine from YouTube. They said, will Joe ever get on camera and make a meal? And the answer is perhaps, maybe, you never know. As of now, I don't think so, because I don't have a cameraman that's as awesome as Joe. So for now, Joe is going to be handling the camera. But anyway, let's take a break from the questions and let's get going on making a marinade. I'm gonna make a marinade right in this dish. I've got some thinly sliced chicken breast, I've got some citrus, I've got rosemary, I've got garlic, mint, and some parsley, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, olive oil, the usual suspects of my marinade for chicken breast, because I think that that's just what tastes best. I'm just going to take some rosemary and give this a really rough chop. I don't want this to be too fine. You can do this the morning of, or you can do this the night before. Just don't put too much lemon if you're going to do this the night before, because it can just like almost cook your chicken if it's too much lemon juice. Good handful of parsley. I've got my lemon. I've got my garlic. Let's move the stuff out of the way a little teeny tiny bit. I want you guys to be able to see well. I'm going to put this to the side for now. As you can see, I try to set myself up so I have everything around me, but sometimes I just got to move my stuff around. So, as I'm chopping the herbs really nice and fine, I'm going to go in and answer some more questions. Samantha says, I'm so excited. Don't have any questions right now, Laura, but you are truly one special lady. And Samantha, thank you so much. That's really sweet of you to say. I just love you guys, and I just appreciate that you allow me to do what I love, and I appreciate that you stick by me, and that you enjoy cooking videos as much as I enjoy making them for you. Just adding my herbs to my bowl. I'm going to zest and juice a whole lemon. Self-proclaimed citrus queen, lemon queen. So I'm going to add a whole zest and the whole juice of a lemon. Let's see, next question. Wafa from YouTube says, I adore your personality, Laura. My question is, how did you develop a passion for food? I grew up in the kitchen. You know, I grew up in Italy for a good portion of my childhood, and the kitchen really was the heart of the home. Everyone gathered at the kitchen. It wasn't out of the ordinary for the women in my family to be cooking all day, and they just did it with such passion, with such joy. They just love making other people feel really good through food, and I think I saw that growing up. So that was really, I wanted people to feel the same way my grandma made people feel. So cooking for me has just been a lifelong passion, because it feeds me in way more than just, you know, I'm hungry and I want to eat. It just really feeds my soul, makes people feel good, makes people feel loved. And I just have had a love affair with food my whole life. So, hope that answers your question. Just going to squeeze my lemon in there, and then I'm going to go in with some Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard is really tangy, which is why I really love it. You can also use some coarse mustard if you wanted to, like whole grain mustard, or you can completely leave it out. It's up to you. I'm going to add some in because I like it. Okay. Lolo's Mommy 21 from YouTube says, hi again, wanted to know if you can make some dark chocolate desserts. Sure, I have tons and tons of chocolate recipes, chocolate dessert recipes on my website. And if a specific dessert calls for milk chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate, you by all means can use dark chocolate. It just won't be as sweet if you were using milk chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate, but it's up to you. The world is your pickle, my friend, so you use whatever chocolate you prefer. Just gonna peel a couple of garlic cloves, and then I have my more coarse microplane here, my zester, and I'm going to just grate this right in. Why, you ask? Because it's easy, and that way it kind of really blends into the marinade really well. I should have probably peeled my garlic cloves ahead of time, because for some reason these are taking forever to peel, but you know, we'll roll with it. Come on. There we are. It's good enough. And this is my more coarse microplane. And I'm just going to grate a couple of cloves of garlic in there for our marinade. For some reason, that peel was stuck to my finger. Oh, goodness. And this smells so heavenly already. And we haven't even done anything to it except start chopping up some herbs and some garlic and some lemon. I mean, what else do you really need? Things that just smell really good. All right. While I'm doing this, which is really boring to you guys, we'll answer some more questions. Leah said, I miss your dad. Wish he would be on with you. He's so funny. My dad will be on another live event with me soon. We're trying to iron out the details, and you know, maybe you guys can let me know what the live event should be about that we should have him on for. So leave your suggestions down here, and I'll let him know for sure. I'm sure he'll appreciate you guys wanting to see him back. And of course, I love cooking with my dad. He's hysterical, and we always have a really fun time cooking together and just hanging out. So I'm excited that you guys want to see him too. Okay, last clove of garlic. This one went a lot easier. For some reason, the other one just did not want to peel. All right, good enough. If some chunks are left over in there, by all means, go with it. We're gonna add in, we'll be here till next Tuesday if I do this. So I'm gonna take off this top, add in a good amount of olive oil, because remember, you need to make sure that you're coating your whole, the chicken in it. Good amount of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper here and we're in effect. And that's all I know about that song. Not that cool. All right. Plenty of salt. Remember, there's a lot of chicken we are seasoning. I'm making a lot of it because it's just great to have on hand. Great for leftovers, and it's just one of those really easy recipes that it just, when cold grilled chicken to me is phenomenal, and you can toss it in pretty much anything. You can eat it as is, toss it in a salad, toss it with some quinoa, toss it in pretty much anything that you prefer, and you have a really easy meal, whatever it might be. So I'm just going to add my chicken in here. As you can see, I'm just going to toss it in here and push it to the side so that I make more room for the remaining chicken, because I've got quite a bit to go here. And if you don't want to use these herbs, by all means, you can use some fresh thyme. You could use some dry rosemary, some dry thymes. The great thing about springtime cooking is that you really can use anything that you have on hand. And the beautiful thing about springtime cooking is that it's just, there's such an abundant amount of fresh herbs and vegetables, and you can use them in any way, shape, or form. And the great thing about it is too, sometimes if I have a lot of fresh zucchini and yellow squash and all those beautiful veggies and I don't feel like cooking, by all means, to me, a gorgeous and easy and simple raw veggie salad hits the spot. And another thing too, I'm blabbing your ear away, I know. Another great thing too, people ask me, well, how do you know, like, why do you prefer these things at springtime, and why do you prefer these things in the fall, and why do you prefer these things in the winter? And the truth of the matter is, my body tells me what it's in the mood for. So when it's really cold, you're naturally craving something that's warm and comforting and soul soothing. When it's really warm and sunny and hot or whatever, your body will naturally crave those really cool, fresh, colorful vegetables and the kind of dishes that you are missing all winter long, because there is a lack of availability when it comes to the produce section in the colder months. And also too, we are in the US, which is very, very blessed to be able to live in a place where I can go to any grocery store throughout the year and find whatever I'm looking for. But that doesn't always mean it's gonna taste good. So I really wanna stress that if you go to your local grocery store in the winter and they have, I don't know, fresh zucchini and tomatoes, you can buy them, but they're not gonna taste good, number one, because they're not in season. And number two, they're going to be, yowza, they're gonna be so expensive that might as well just completely skip it. It's not gonna taste good. It's not what your body is craving. So those are my 2 cents. Anyway, I'm gonna let the chicken marinate for just a few minutes and kind of tidy up a bit. As you can see, I didn't touch the chicken with my hands at all, so there's no need to worry about cross-contamination. Let's go on with the next question. LR Checkout from YouTube said, Laura, you said you love food and love to eat, but is there anything you just simply flat out won't eat? And I don't mean bugs and such as human food. That's really funny. Let me think here for a second. There's a lot of things I actually don't eat. I don't eat eel, which is, for us in Italy, we call it capitone. We make it. It's a very traditional Christmas dish, Christmas Eve. My mom has to have it on Christmas Eve every year. I won't go anywhere near it because I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea, I suppose. But really, aside from that, there's not a whole lot I won't eat. I won't try. Let me think here. I'm not the biggest fan of blue cheese. Blue cheese dressing, I really prefer to eat my own. Otherwise, I really don't like blue cheese dressing. I only like my recipe for blue cheese dressing. What else do I not like? I'm really picky when it comes to cheeses. I'm really picky. I'm trying to think. Now you got me. Now you have me thinking. Now you have me like wondering what are the things that I don't eat. I think that's about it, really. I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to food. I'll try anything. I'll try anything once, and if I really don't like it, I don't like it. I've never liked eel. I remember being a kid, and my mom it's her favorite thing to eat in the summer at Christmas, and I just can't go anywhere near it. I don't know why. I just can't do it. I've got my zucchini and yellow squash. I'm just drizzling a little bit of oil on the cut side. I've just cut the zucchini in half and the yellow squash in thirds, and I'm just sprinkling these with a little bit of salt and pepper right on the board. I mean, why not? And we are going to grill these very briefly. I don't want these to be soft. I don't want these to be mushy. I just want these to develop some good color and lovely smoky flavor. And of course, you can do this on your outdoor grill. It'll taste 10 to 15 times better. But, you know, we're going to do it indoor today. And now I'm going to just season that side right here that we have, and I just like to put it in my hands, and I do not suggest you do this. You can use a pastry brush. I just use my hands for pretty much everything. So just gonna rinse them off for just a quick second because I've got the oil on there. Okay, let's get going with more questions, shall we? One from YouTube said, hi Laura, I'm looking for a challenging and delicious recipe for the season. Could you tell me one? Thanks. If you have known me for a long time, and if you've been a long time follower of mine, you know that challenging and hard and difficult are just not up my alley. I don't have time for it. I don't like to challenge myself with difficult recipes. I'm not a chef. I just really like simple food. But I mean, before it gets too hot, I would suggest maybe you could try the croissants, because they are a labor of love. They take a long time to cook, but they are absolutely worth every single second that you devote to them. They taste phenomenal. So I'd say give those a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the outcome. So there's that. Now what I have here is I have pre-cooked some triple colored quinoa. You can use any quinoa you want. You could use couscous, you could use bulgur wheat, you can use anything you prefer, any grain that you prefer. Or any small shaped pasta like couscous. I've pre-cooked some and it's cooled, and now to that I'm going to add in all the grilled veggies on my grilled eggplant and my zucchini and yellow squash. I'm also going to add some cucumber, lots of fresh herbs, lots of lemon, olive oil, salt and pepper, and I've got some beautiful colorful tomatoes here. This is the great thing about spring and summer. you can just tell how good things are going to be for you by the color. I mean, my favorite thing about spring and summer, my favorite thing about food is how colorful it is. It's incredibly beautiful to look at. It just looks like it's going to be bright and fresh and delicious, and that's kind of what makes my mouth water. Like in the winter and the fall, I just crave the kind of foods that are comforting, and soups and stews, and because it's cold outside, and that's kind of just what my body wants. But in the spring and summer, when your farmers markets are open and you just show up and you see the beautiful colors, you smell the herbs, you just know that those beautiful months are here, and I really, really love it. So I've got some scallions right over here, and I've got a cucumber. You can peel the cucumber if you want to. I'm not going to. Let's face it, I don't need to. If you feel like you should peel your cucumber, by all means peel your cucumber, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to just give these a nice rough chop. You can cut the veggies as small or as big as you want. I like them like a 1/2 inch size, not too small, not too big, because I want a lot of crunch. So that's why I'm keeping them that size. I'm going to cut my cucumber and in the meantime answer some questions. Jenny says, from YouTube, says, what's your favorite springtime recipe? I love anything on the grill. That has to be my favorite springtime recipe. I also really love making my whole like roasted leg of lamb. That's very Easter for me, and kind of like, it just reminds me that springtime is here, if that makes any sense. But I'd have to say, do I really have a favorite springtime recipe? Maybe not. I just love anything that has a lot of color, a lot of texture. I'm putting my grilled zucchini and squash on this clean plate here because I want these to cool just for a few minutes before we give them a chop and put them into our salad. But I don't really have a favorite recipe. I like whatever's in season. I love things like my quinoa salad, couscous salad. I'm gonna just turn that down. That's what makes my mouth water, because it's fresh, it's colorful, it's bright. It's all those things that I've been missing throughout the winter months. So give this one more of a chop and the cucumber is done, and we'll get going with more questions. Gabriella says, can you make something gluten-free, please? Well, you can substitute gluten-free pasta for any pasta dish that I have. When it comes to baking with gluten-free, you know, it's really not an area that I'm totally familiar with. I have a really hard time baking breads that are gluten-free just because I don't think they come out the same, and I can't bring myself to film episodes with recipes I'm not comfortable with, or confident, I should say, in. But when it comes to pastas, use gluten-free pasta. You don't have to use regular pasta. You could use brown rice pasta, which I love. There's some great brands out there nowadays for some brown rice pastas. But when it comes to bread making, I just don't think that I found anything that will give me the same result as regular flour. So I'm going to continue to play around, and whenever I come up with something that's good enough to share, I definitely will. So keep your eye out for that. Let's see. Miss Lisa from YouTube says, if you weren't cooking, what would you be doing What would you be doing besides Joe's Family Business? I would be a makeup artist. That was my original plan when I was a kid. I was going to be a makeup artist when I was really little, because I remember watching my Aunt Lena get ready to go out, and I would watch her, and I would see like her transforming and just gain so much confidence with when she had makeup on, and I thought, oh, I want to do that when I grow up. And that was when I was really little. So that would be my backup plan. If I could do anything else, that would be it. I'm adding some beautiful colorful tomatoes here. These are just some heirloom tomatoes that are sweet and colorful and gorgeous, and I could not resist. I mean, how can one resist those colors? So I'm just having some of them. I'm quartering others, depends on the size, whatever tickles my fancy. Okay, next question from the Michaelas from YouTube. What is your favorite cuisine aside from Italian? Oh, that's really hard. I really like traditional American dishes, chicken pot pie, fried chicken. I really like Southern food a lot. But I also really like Mexican food. I really like Spanish food. So I'd have to say those are my favorite. I really can't pick one because I like all of them. I love Indian food. I love Middle Eastern food. Love it, love it, love it. I love Greek food. It's just really hard to pick a specific one. So I'm going to pick all of those, all of the above. I'm just chopping out some scallions. These are all pre-washed. All of my veggies and my herbs and my citrus has been all pre-washed already. And I'm just going to give the onions, my green onions, a rough chop. You could use chives here if you wanted to. You could use anything you wanted. So I'm just going to give these a good chop. In fact, you could also use a shallot. You could use red onion. You could use white onion. You could use anything you wanted. So you can add those in there. Look at the colors of that. And whenever you are going to be stirring rice or quinoa, couscous, any kind of small grain like that, make sure you do it with knives and Make sure you do it with forks and not a spoon, because otherwise it kind of like gets all claggy together, and what you don't want is for that to happen. What you want is for things to be really light and fluffy and gorgeous. I've got mint and parsley that I'm going to chop up here. I love the freshness, I love the brightness, and mint is something I've been absolutely obsessed with ever since going to a restaurant in New York City where what I ordered is kale salad, which was incredibly simple and easy. I think it had only like 3 or 4 ingredients. But in the kale salad, there was a lot of fresh mint. It literally took me by surprise because I couldn't believe how good it was. And ever since then, I've been adding mint in pretty much everything. And if you follow our vlog channel, you'll know that I went through an obsession with a kale salad with mint for a while. Still am going through that, but anyways, giving this a really good chop. You can leave them nice and rough or a bit more fine. I like something in the middle. I almost want the herbs to be like a green, like a salad green in the salad, so I'm not going to take it too far. I'm going to add those right in there. Okay. Sarah from YouTube asked, do you ever listen to music while you cook? If so, what type? Sometimes I do. Like sometimes on weekend mornings, I'll listen to some Italian music when I'm getting my sauce ready or marinating something really early in the morning on weekend mornings. Most of the time, I really don't. I usually have like a YouTube video on, or I don't know, what else? What have I been really into lately? Or what I really love is to be able to take my laptop into the kitchen and put on some old Italian movies like Totò e Moco. All the Totò movies are my favorite, and I'll have those on as I cook. That's really my favorite. Not so much music, even though I'm not watching the movie. I just like to listen. I like how it's familiar to me. It's movies I grew up watching with my grandparents. So I prefer that over music when I cook. I'm just chopping up my grilled veggies that I have cooled a bit. You can see they've got beautiful grill marks on them, but they still hold their shape. They're not mushy, they're not falling apart, they're gorgeous, and that's exactly what you want. I'm gonna go with the zucchini. Okay, next question from Jen says, have you ever injured yourself while cooking? And I love you. And I love you too. And yes, I have. I have injured myself a lot. Recently, the most recent injury was last summer. I was making Joe some pico de gallo salsa, and I chopped the end of my finger off pretty bad. That was that. I have a lot of burns on my arms from when I used to work at my dad's pizza place and used to take stuff out of the oven. I used to burn myself on the daily. That was pretty terrible. But the latest one was my finger, I have to say. That wasn't pleasant, but made it through it. That's that. Okay, we have the last of our veggies. And again, you can use any veggies you like. Some mushrooms would be great in here. Some peppers would be lovely. You can even grill some onions. That would be really nice too. The whole point about spring and summer cooking, use whatever is available, whatever's fresh, whatever's available in your supermarket, in your side of the country, whatever it might be. Use that. That's the beauty of spring and summer. You don't really have to use exactly what I'm using. You're just grilling some veggies and tossing in with some grains or some pastas. By all means, take it in your own hands and do things how you like them. That's that. I'm going to season my veggies with some salt and pepper. The quinoa has already been seasoned, so I don't want to season it too much. Get them in there. And you can see I have 2 forks on either side of the bowl. And that's because I want to toss this together with 2 forks. Giving my lemon a good roll to release the juices. Wipe my hands, my mapina. All right, let's answer some more questions. Super 9 p.m. says, how do you use up Parmigiano Reggiano other than pasta? First of all, if we ever had Parmigiano Reggiano in this house that didn't get used up or that I had to throw away because it went bad, I'm pretty sure all hell would freeze over because it never happened. I love it in pretty much anything. In fact, I was thinking this morning, I can't imagine making frittata without a giant handful of Parmigiano in there. I mean, it wouldn't be the same. I couldn't imagine that. I put it in pretty much anything and everything. Sometimes if I'm making a savory crust for, say, a quiche or something, I'll add it in there. I like to add it on top of salads. I love putting it in salad dressings. In fact, my friend Brie is obsessed with my garlic and Parmesan salad dressing from when I make just spring mix with a few veggies in there. That's the dressing of choice. We love it around here. It's spicy. It's not overly garlic. It's spicy from the garlic because I like to put a lot of garlic in there, especially when my friends are over because they're garlic obsessed. But it's not like overly powdery, but the Parmigiano adds a level of saltiness that's not, you can't get that from just regular salt. So I like to add it in pretty much everything. I've added the juice of a lemon. I'm going to add in a good amount of olive oil to this because you're seasoning a lot of salad. And then using your forks, you're gonna toss this all together. And the smell in here is just like, I can't even describe it to you. It's heavenly. It's so bright and so colorful and so fresh. And look at that. And this, by the way, is not a written recipe. I went yesterday to my grocery store and whatever I found that looked beautiful to me is what I bought, and that's what I put in my salad. And I mean, look at that. That feeds 6 to 8 people easily. If you're just you and your husband tonight for dinner, make the whole batch of this and then just keep the rest in the fridge for leftovers because they are amazing in the cold for lunches the next day. So I can't say it enough how much I adore leftovers. Okay, I'm getting this back up to high temperature because we're gonna grill our chicken. But I'm gonna say. I'm going to answer some questions. First of all, let me know what country you guys are from because last time I went through and read where you guys are all from and I was absolutely amazed at how many different countries you're all watching from. So please comment right now. Let me know where you're from. I'd love to go back and see. By the way, thank you for staying up really late to watch this. I love you guys. It makes my day. It makes me feel really, really, really loved and special. So I appreciate that. EK Peace says, what would you make on a really hot day? If it's a really hot day, I usually don't even cook a meal. Usually I'll take some tomatoes and do a tomato and onion salad with maybe a little bit of fresh mozzarella, or I'll do like a raw vegetable salad. If it's really hot, I can open up a can of tuna and by all means there's my protein and my veggies right there and it's perfect. Rusher says, can you say hi to Norway? We're watching from Norway. Norway loves you. Hi, Norway! Thank you for watching. I certainly appreciate it, and I love you guys right back. Okay, Louise said, is your husband behind the camera? Of course he is. How will we get this thing rolling without him behind the camera? I've got my chicken here. I'm waiting for this to go back up to high temperature. Kevin says, will you have any guest stars on the show anytime soon? No, I don't plan on it. Not anytime soon. Well, the biggest star will be on in probably a couple of months. And if you know who that is, let me know. I'm going to see her in just a few weeks. I'm going to Italy, by the way, in a few weeks. So the biggest star of my show, of my life, will do some recipes with me, and we'll definitely share those. So let me know if you know who I'm talking about. She's wonderful, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. So I'm very excited for that. Let's see. Gabriella said, what inspired you to start this channel? I just simply wanted a way to share my love of food and the kitchen with people, and this was my husband's idea. I said we'd go for it. And to be very honest with you, I had no idea it would even work because 4 years ago when we first started, I mean, I was so intimidated. I thought, well, people are going to tell me I'm not trained, I'm not good enough, all these things, and I just felt really, really, really down. I felt like this isn't going to turn out well. People are going to beat me up for it. But what actually happened was I realized that there are so many people out in the world that are just like me, that are not trained, that love really fresh and easy home food. They love to indulge. They make no apologies for not being trained in any way. And that was almost like, it felt like that was my award. All these people feeling the same way I was feeling was like, yes, you're doing this. Give them a voice. And I felt like that was my purpose. I felt like I would be the voice for all you guys. I would be the voice for all the people who love really good home food. And that it's just been the best amazing ride of my life. So thanks for allowing me to do so. And my grill pan nice and hot. My chicken's been marinating for about 20 minutes or so. It smells amazing. This should only take a few minutes to cook. So we're gonna keep our eye on that. We don't want this to go too far, too quick. And you're gonna have to, if you have to adjust your temperature, by all means do that. I have mine between medium and medium high. Not medium high and not medium, somewhere in between. I'm gonna add one more piece of chicken right over there. And then I'll do these on my second batch. Yeah, let's do that. I've got my clean tongs. You don't want to use the same tongs. I've got a clean fork for flipping the chicken. Let's make some room. Okay, we'll answer some more questions. Kathleen says, my first time watching a live event and I love it. Thanks, Lorinja. Thanks for joining in, Kathleen. We really appreciate it. When it comes to live events, there's nothing scripted. There is nobody else here except for us, and I have a couple of friends behind the scenes helping us out as well with the cameras. A big thank you to them. But really, it's all about being uncensored, unscripted, on everything, so that you can really get to know me better, and you can really get to hang out with me as if you were here in my own kitchen. So I appreciate that you guys don't mind the little bit of the mess here and there. Little bit of I get a little confused, making sure I'm doing the right things at the right time, because you know, it's real life, it's real time. So I appreciate that. Let's answer some more questions. Steven says, can you make Indian food on the channel? I would love to make my own take on Indian food. I haven't yet, just because in the past people have just gotten a little bit upset with me when I make sort of my version of Mexican food or whatnot, and I'm just nervous that people are going to say, this isn't authentic, this isn't authentic, this isn't authentic. I know it's not authentic, but it is my take on it. So I'm a little nervous about it, but I do want to make it because I have some great recipes that I want to share with you guys. So let's answer some more questions. Stephanie says, from Hong Kong, but currently studying in the UK, fighting my final exams. You go, sweetie. You can do it. You study, you ace those exams, and you got this. And thanks for watching. I certainly appreciate it. Ramsey51 says, what kind of diet do you have, Laura? I have the kind of diet where I eat everything I want in moderation. I will never deprive myself of things I love, but I just don't overindulge. That's one thing I want to stress, is that life is short. And if I can't go to Italy and eat my nonna's delicious donuts, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be so strict on what I eat. No. But I like keeping things in moderation. I love fresh foods. I allow my body to tell me what it's craving and what it wants. I think that's really the best way to go about it. And I work out a lot too. So I work out 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes more. It depends if we're traveling or not. So I have flipped my chicken, so we'll answer some more questions. Crafting Charm says, what are your favorite herbs for salads? I really love things like parsley and mint and basil. I think they can add a ton of flavor to salads with no effort, really, not at all. That's what I was talking about, how much I'm in love with mint in salads. I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world, but it just blew my mind when I ate it and I loved it. So those are my favorites. Larisimalia says, do you ever eat takeaways? If so, what do you order? Of course I do. There are times where, if we're traveling, there are times where we have a lot of people over and I just don't feel like cooking, where it's a last minute thing. I love pizza. I love a good cheesesteak. yeah, those are my favorites. So let's see. Live, Laugh, Love Lot says, would you ever expand and open up a restaurant or a TV show? I don't think I would open up a restaurant anytime soon. And as for the TV show, there might be a rumor going around. I won't confirm nor deny. I'm going to leave it at that. Suddenly 3 says, wow, Laura, you're a natural in front of a light camera. Thank you. Again, going back to what I was talking about, cooking live. Doing these live events is more important to me than you guys probably know. We get a lot of people every day that watch Laura in the Kitchen and our vlogs and Style Channel, and they are amazing. But I get a lot of questions about what I'm like in real life. I can't meet all of you. I wish I could. So doing live events and being able to interact with you guys one-on-one, so it feels like, is the closest thing I'm going to get to it. So I love hearing things like, you're so fun and you're so sweet and you're natural, because that's just who I am. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not, and it makes me feel really good when I see that you guys understand me. So my chicken, I'm going to take the 3 back pieces off. Those are done for sure. And look how beautiful they're looking. Look at those grill marks. I tell you, I can't wait for dinner. It's going to be quite delightful. And I'm going to push these back. Let those cook a few more minutes. And I'm going to just make sure that you really get in that marinade really well. Oh, it smells amazing. And again, you really can use any mix of herbs that you like. You don't have to use what I use. These just happen to be what I most commonly use when it comes to chicken. But you know, you can use anything that you prefer. And then I have one more piece. Let's see where I can fit it. Let's see. Let's try and fit it like that. Move this out of the way. And we are that close to getting dinner on the table. Let's answer a few more questions, shall we? Corey James says, hi Laura, who is your favorite Italian football soccer player? Let's see. I really like Francesco Totti from years ago, so that's what I'm going to go with. That's the only jersey I own, so I'm going to stick to that. Visionary says, can you make pierogies? Sure, we'll make them in the future. I'm actually going to go back to some questions here that I had pre-selected before starting so that everybody can get their questions answered. Well, not everybody, but as many as I can. Let's see. The Clumsy says, how do you learn to cook like this? I love you, Laura. My kind of cooking is not at all fancy chef cooking, so it's easy home food. It's food that I grew up eating. So you don't need skill to cook the way I cook. That's where I'm getting at. You don't need special skills. You just have to really love being in the kitchen, which I absolutely do. I feel like everything I do on YouTube, I just want to help you have a better relationship with the kitchen, a stress-free relationship, a happy relationship with the kitchen. So there's that. Taking off these 3 pieces, setting them aside, and we'll wait for the other ones to go and answer some more questions in the meantime. Okay, let's see. Mark says, I'm growing mint in my garden for the first time this year. What are some savory dishes that I can use mint in? You can use mint exactly in the same way I use it in my salad. You can use mint to make a fabulous mint oil to drizzle over grilled lamb chops. Goodness, you can use mint in anything that you like. I mean, you have to just be careful with the amounts you use because mint can be so strong and it can overpower something. So really, in any way you like. I want to answer this question because this is funny. Shimmery Summer says, Laura, what is your favorite Celine Dion song? If you know me, you know I love the movie Titanic. It's my all-time favorite movie, so obviously My Heart Will Go On is my favorite song in the world. I know every word to that song. In fact, I memorized every word to that song back when the movie came out, and I was still living in Italy, and I would sing it not knowing what it meant. I had no idea what I was saying, but I had memorized it. So that's my favorite song. Okay. Aumo says, who taught you how to cook? No one in particular, really. I just, I cooked, I spent a lot of my time with my grandparents growing up, so my grandmother is a huge influence in how I cook. My dad's a good cook as well. My mom is a great cook, but when it comes to who taught me how to cook, I can honestly say I was completely self-taught. I became the cook in our household when I was 12 years old, so I just learned on my own. So, let's see. Unknown Silence says, what is your opinion on fennel, the herb, not the seed? I'm assuming you mean the fennel bulb with the fennel fronds. I love fennel in any way, shape, or form, so I'm all for it. Lacey says, what's your favorite vacation spot? Italy, of course. Any chance I get to go back and visit the family, I take right up on it. And then my second close-up is Miami. We love going to Miami. We particularly love going to Miami with our friends because we have an amazing time with Mike and Bree, which we've talked to you guys about them before. We have such an amazing time, and even though we really just kind of go on the beach and have our favorite drinks and just relax, it feels like you're somewhere so much further away than you really are. It's a really nice way to escape. So those are my two favorites. Christopher says, I love your accent. You look great. Food looks yummy. Greeting from Central Florida. Shout out to Miami. What? I didn't even see your comment just then, but did you just see what just happened? Did you see? It was in sync. It was meant for me to read that comment right after what I just answered. You know me. You get it. Let's see. Clement says, hey Laura, I love what you do and I love you. I will be going to Italy for a uni trip in June. What foods should I try while I'm there? From New Zealand here. Hi! You need to try everything. I can't possibly tell you only one thing to try. You need to try every single thing. The brick oven pizza is unlike any other you'll ever have. Gelato is just the very stuff of dreams. The buffalo mozzarella is life-changing. What else is? I mean, everything you can get your hands on, do it. You'll come back getting a few pounds heavier, but I promise you, it will be worth it. The Michaela says, if you could cook with any celebrity chef, who would it be? Nigella Lawson. Ashley says, Laura, I have trouble cleaning my grill pan after I use it. How do you clean yours? Help! I have a non-stick grill pan, which makes my life a lot easier. So what I do, there's a lot of good gunk on there now. What I do is I just let it come down to temperature a bit, and then I pour in some water, let it soak for about a half hour or so, and then I just go in there and scrub it. It's really easy because I have a non-stick grill pan. If you don't have a non-stick grill pan, I threw mine out because it was impossible to get it clean. It was absolutely a nightmare, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I kind of give up. And I know that's bad, but being honest here. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. I'm just putting some fresh lemon wedges on my platter. Homie Blossom says, yum, the chicken looks delicious. I know! Looks good, right? It's easy. Make a whole big batch of it and then just use it throughout the week. It's so good. I mean, who doesn't love good cold chicken out of the fridge? It's admittedly one of my favorite things to snack on. Most people snack on normal things. I snack on grilled chicken from the fridge. This is like Laura Confessions. Okay. Katia says, can you make penne alla verde? I don't know what that means because penne alla verde to me just means pasta with pesto, which I've already done. So I don't know what penne alla verde means. And another thing too, I get a lot of people asking me to make certain recipes that they've eaten at certain restaurants. If I haven't eaten at that restaurant, chances are I don't know what that is. So I want to help you out, but I just don't even know what I'm talking about. That's a bit of an issue I have. Maybe if you can describe to me what's in the pasta verde, then it'll be a little bit easier. Okay. Let's go back to some of these questions, shall we? Marisa said, if your mom and your nonna were here with you for Mother's Day, what delicious meal would you make for them? Oh, now you're killing me. Now that's killing me. let's see. We would probably make gnocchi because there's just like the all-purpose celebration dish that we always make. Goodness, this is really difficult. Let's see. Fried Italian peppers for sure. We would probably just keep it really simple and really easy with some family favorites like gnocchi, fried peppers, maybe eggplant parm, big array of antipasti, marinated anchovies, grilled and marinated eggplants, roasted peppers, marinated mushrooms, prosciutto, mortadella, parmigiano, provolone, mozzarella. That's what we do. So there's that. Let's see. Jenny B says, what springtime dessert can you suggest? I have so many desserts on my channel. I love desserts. That is one thing as much as I love helping people kind of cut down on, and remaking certain recipes, I just feel like when it comes to desserts, leave it for a special treat. And right now, what I'm really, really craving are some mini pavlovas with kiwi and a raspberry sauce, which I'll share with you on Laura in the Kitchen really soon. But at like my classic pavlova is just, it's dessert. It's one of the desserts that I'm most obsessed with, that it's not chocolate. So that's saying a lot. Amanda says, your twice baked potatoes are one of our favorite recipes. Yay! I'm so happy. Kimberly says, did you ever show how to make those little green peppers from Italy? Yes. If you go to laureninthekitchen.com, I think they're called Italian fried peppers or Italian green peppers. It's on my channel, I promise. Definitely. Let's see. Danish said, is it possible to make Nutella cupcakes? Anything is possible. Nutella cupcakes coming at you really soon. Boom. Let's see. Aisling said, Laura's Kitchen. Hi, Laura. I'm from Scotland. Woohoo! I was wondering if you were planning on visiting the UK, as we'd love for you to come. I want to visit UK like you would not believe. UK has been on my bucket list of one of my dream destinations for a long time. We were supposed to go this May, but we just had some work that we couldn't, and we just couldn't make it this time. So we might go in the fall, or we might go next spring. We're not sure yet, but the UK is a place I am definitely going to be going to, and when we do, we will do a meetup. Okay, a couple more questions, and then I'll get you guys know. Natalie likes Mariah Carey says, can you please do a dance for us? I don't know how, there's no music in my head, so do a little dance. Make a little love, get down tonight. That's all I got in my head. So that's it. Okay, let's answer one more question. Pink Lollies 98 says, can you show us a recipe on how to make eclairs? Yes, I can, and I will show you soon. Let's bring over our beautiful salad that just literally feeds an army and a half. Let's move over our stuff here so that you guys can see how gorgeous this looks. Now, serve this with alongside a lovely fruit salad or a pavlova or whatever you want to, whatever it is, and you have a gorgeous meal fit for kings, definitely fit for company, and amazing, amazing leftovers. I'm just gonna give this piece of chicken, I want to go for this guy right here because it's nice and charred at the end. Not charred, but you guys know I need a little knife. I need a little tiny knife there. There you are. That is money. That is my idea of total heaven on a spring and summer dinner. It's super colorful, super bright, super flavorful, and easy peasy. I did it right along with you so you can see it takes no time at all. And that is really it. That's really about it. I really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know down below what the next live event should be about. I'm thinking a grilling live event outside. Am I crazy? Probably. But that's what I'm thinking. You let me know if you like that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I certainly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.